Whether it is a 911 medical emergency or fire, seconds count for life and property, and first responders arriving promptly to the scene. In some areas of Clark County, one possible delay to an emergency response could be a bridge on their private roadway.
The concern about private bridges is we don't know anything about them. If it exists, we know it's there, but we don't know how it was constructed, we don't know when it was constructed, and we don't know how well, if at all, it's been maintained. The question is always, do I cross the bridge or do I not cross the bridge? Will it support 37,000 pounds of fire apparatus? So most fire districts in response to that have come up with a policy, we're simply not going to cross if we don't know.
Local fire districts can't take unknown risks with crew and expensive equipment. Fire apparatus can cost up to $500,000 and likely take months to replace.
We would still respond with those larger trucks, the engines and the water tenders that would be able to create a sustained fire flow, but we would have to stop those at the bridge and carry our equipment across by hand. Some of the longer driveways that could lead to a significant delay. Science proves that fire grows geometrically. Add an additional minute or two, the fire has a lot of time to consume more materials and create greater heat and do a lot more damage.
By using the county's GIS system to locate private driveways and roads that cross streams, it has been estimated that there are 679 private bridges in Clark County. Currently, staff is going out to these locations and creating an inventory. While no private bridge in Clark County has failed from a fire truck going over it, there have been collapses in other areas of the U.S.
Let's take care of the problem before it happens. One thing we don't want to do is create another emergency getting to someone else's emergency. Not only would that create a manpower drain to deal with that, but it would also block their ability to even take care of the original emergency in the first place.
A Clark County Private Bridge Advisory Committee, consisting of stakeholders and county staff, has come up with some proposed recommendations. Under the county's proposal, homeowners could opt to do nothing to their existing bridge, although the county strongly recommends having every private bridge professionally inspected every 5 years and posting signs indicating the bridge's load capacity.
People that drive large commercial vehicles, they know what classification their vehicle fits into based on public road signing that talks about weight limits for bridges. By signing next to a private bridge, it would allow the truck driver or the emergency response driver to know whether they can cross the bridge or not.
Another recommendation is when new homes are built or additional lots created, the existing private bridge needs to be inspected and, if necessary, upgraded to meet fire apparatus requirements. An alternative would be for new homes to be constructed with fire-resistant techniques, such as installing sprinkler systems.
Many private bridges built in Clark County were built prior to engineering standards for them, prior to land use laws in 1970s. When the fire code included the public bridge standard, it required the private bridges to be built to a public highway standard, which is overbuilt for really the use and the volume of traffic that it would see. So we're seeking to find a compromise between the highway bridge standard and something that would hold up the emergency response vehicles.
Homeowners who choose to do nothing to their existing bridge could be at risk to a delayed emergency response. If more than one home uses a private bridge, it might be advantageous for neighbors to create a road maintenance district to share the cost of inspection and possible improvements.
I've been faced with the question, do I cross or do I stay here and we take the equipment? Fortunately, the bridges that I encountered, the ability to get to the patient, they were both medical calls, was a fairly short distance. So we were able to hike in and get to the patient in enough time to make a difference. But my concern is we've got several bridges out here that service up to 11 properties and several yards away from the private bridge uphill. To get hose and equipment to those locations would be extremely difficult.
The county recently sent out informational outreach flyers to residents and property owners living near private bridges. Clark County is also providing a list of professionals who can inspect and load rate private bridges. Local fire districts and the county are hosting 3 public open houses in late January and early February to talk with county residents and answer their questions. For more information about private bridges or the 3 public open houses, go to the county's website at clark.wa.gov/privatebridges or call the Clark County Fire Marshal's Office at 397-2375, extension 3324.